Hello again, this is Mr. Storm, and this is Word Exercise Lesson 4. Word Exercise 4. Okay, so I have my instructions open here, and I have my data here. This data is very, very gross looking, and I want to I want to change it so that it looks a lot better, like my example down here. So, first thing we're going to do is we want to highlight the United States population. We'll highlight that. And we want to change the font to something nice and the size to 20. So I will change it to Casteller because I really like that, and I will change the font to 20. Alrighty. I want to highlight the population number down here. I want to change the font to match, and I want to change it to 36. Make it nice and big. Hello, Mrs. Storm. She just walked in. Alright, now I'm going to highlight both of them, and I want to center them here. So that is centered. And then I want to change my margins to narrow for my document. So that's a page layout option. Go to margins, change them to narrow. Alrighty. Now that's that first section. Oh, shapes. So I want to use shapes to decorate the first two lines here. There are a lot of cool things we can do with shapes. If you go to Insert and then Shapes, there are a lot of cool shapes here that we can use. We can put a banner behind it. We can do little brackets around it. I'm going to go ahead and use these put this left brace in here. And I'll make it nice and fat like that. Drag it over. Kind of put it around this information. And I'm going to Control C, Control V to create a new left brace. And I will rotate it around so that I have like these brackets going around my text here. That's pretty cool. Alright, and there are a lot of cool things you can do with SmartArt. So, let's see. Or with shapes, sorry. I'm going to change the theme of the document to something pleasing. So I've got my shapes here. Now I want to change the theme. I'm going to go to Page Layout, and I'm going to look through the themes here. There are plenty of themes that I can choose from. But I'm just going to pick one that looks nice. And notice how my font and my font size is changing, and the colors of my shapes are changing. I'm going to choose this, let's do Oriole. I'll change it to that. That looks good. So I changed my theme to something nice. Then I want to change the color of my first two lines to match my brackets, to make this a little bit more in line with what I want. So that's home. And then here, I can change the font color. So I'm going to change that to something nice and orangish. Actually, that red right there matches it pretty well. I'm going to make it stand out just a little bit more. So I'm going to choose... I'll choose the red. So it's just a little off so it stands out. Alrighty. And then that looks like that's section 2. Section 3, Smart Art. So we want to insert the continuous block process Smart Art. So I'm going to go ahead and click Insert, and I'm going to go to Smart Art. And it gives me a list of all these Smart Art graphics. Now Smart Art is cool because it's art that you can actually apply text and stuff to. I'm going to do the continuous block process. So I'm going to go to Process and Continuous Block Process. I'm going to type that, put that in there, and it gives me this Smart Art that I can mess around with. Okay, I want to add the information about age demographics in the boxes. So persons under 5 years, persons under 18 years, persons 65 and older. So when I go in here, I can just go under 5 years hyphen and 6.2%. And then when I go to under 18 years, and I will do 22.9%. And then here, 65 and over, and that is 14.9%. Okay, so that's that. My text is in there. Now I want to choose Smart Art style and color scheme that looks good. So up here, I've got styles and color schemes. So I can choose a color scheme that looks nice. I like that color scheme. It looks cool. And my style, I can change the way the art actually looks. Let's go with, I like this one. Let's go with maybe the original. Ooh, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna choose that. All right, and then resize the smart art and put it in the upper left-hand corner. So all I have to do is drag this like that, put it right there, and then delete the text because we don't need it. We transferred it up here, so that's gone. Next, pie chart. So we're going to insert an exploded pie chart. Insert. We want to go to charts, and we'll go down to pie, and we'll look for an exploded pie chart. If you do exploded 3D, that's fine too, but I think the exploded 2D actually looks pretty good. So we'll do an exploded pie. Uh-oh, what happened? Well, when you create a chart in Microsoft Word, it's going to pull open Microsoft Excel, because Excel is how you handle the data that's going to show up in your chart. So let's look at Excel for a minute, and let's see what we have to enter. So we want to add the information about age. Oh, that's the smart art, sorry. We want to type in the ethnic demographic information into the Excel spreadsheet. So we're going to look at the ethnic demographic information here on the page. So we've got white, black or African American, Hispanic or Latino. Okay, so all that information is there. So we can go in here and make it race, and then the first item will be white, and it is 77.1, and then black 13.3, and then we want Hispanic 17.6, American Indian, and we'll do 1.2, and then Asian 5.6, Native Hawaiian, oh my gosh, Hawaiian, and that is 0.2, and then we will do 2 or more, and 2.6. Okay, good. Now notice this blue line right here. This blue line is designating which information is actually going to make it onto my spreadsheet or onto my chart. And so I can just go ahead and get rid of this right here. I'll just go ahead and hide that. Oh, it's still not going to bring it in there. Let's extend it. There we go. So now that'll actually be information that shows up on my pie chart. And when I look up here, it actually is. Good, good, good. So now I can close that, and I have my pie chart. All right. Now I want to change the chart layout and style to something nice. So again, we've got chart layouts here. We can change it so that it lays it out differently for whatever we'd like. I want to make sure all of my information is visible. That's not too bad. It's pretty clean looking. Let's go with let's go with this one right here. That's pretty clean. And then my chart colors, I can do a colorful, or that guy. That guy's not too bad. I like the colorful one. But there's even more styles down here we can choose if we want to get fancy pants. But I'm just going to go ahead and choose this guy. And then we want to resize and place it underneath this guy right here. All right. So now that's done. Now we can get rid of this information. Boom. Goodbye. All right. Now a line chart. So a pie chart will show a percentage. It's great for showing percentages. Line charts are great for showing a change over time. Just like our change in median income for Americans for the last 10 years. So that's pretty good change. So what we want to do is insert chart, and we're going to go with a line chart. And I'm just going to go with this basic line chart right here and click OK. Now Excel pops up again. Here's the great thing about, let's just get rid of these. We'll get rid of those columns because we don't need them. Series 1, I want to call it median income. And then here, I have all these categories, but the way I've organized the data here, all you have to do is just grab this, copy, and paste. Just click OK and OK. And then it automatically puts that stuff in there for me. And notice in real time, my median income graph line chart changed as I put that information in. Cool. So now I can close that. Now I have a median income chart. And again, we're going to change the layout, or the design to look nice. Pick something that's simple and clean. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. And we're going to resize and make sure it's on this screen. So that's good. Okay, good. Now one last, well, not one last, we've got a couple more things to do. One more thing we want to do is obviously get rid of this text. So that's gone. All right, now we want to do Smart Art Pyramid. We want to do a pyramid Smart Art. So we're going to insert Smart Art, and we're going to do this pyramid right here. So pyramids are good for representing data in a hierarchical fashion. Whatever. You guys get what I'm talking about. So in this pyramid, we're going to use this to demonstrate the income brackets for Americans. And so the biggest are down here on the bottom, the biggest income bracket under 35,000, and then a little bit bigger, and then a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. So we're going to click here so we can add our data here. The one on the very top, we want it to be over, we need the $sign, over 200,000. So individuals making over $200,000 a year, and we're going to make it 6% on the top. And then the next one is 100,000 to 200,000, and that is 19%. 19%. The next one is going to be 35,000 to, what is it, 99,000? 99,000, and that is 19%. And looks like we've run out of room, but we need one more. Well, that's okay. All we have to do is hit enter, and it creates a new one for us. So under 35,000, that is 44% of the American population. Good. All right. So now we have our pyramid here. And again, we're going to change the layout. I like this one because it looks really nice. We're going to change the layout and the design so that it looks cool. And let's go with, that looks kind of nice. All right. So we're going to do that. And then we want it to go right here. So in order to make sure that we can format this the way we want it, if we go to Format and Arrange, we can wrap our text and put it in front of the text itself. So it's going to put it just right up here in front of everything. So we can get rid of that. We can resize it, play around with it, make it however we want it, and we'll stretch this down. Because this is a pyramid, it'll look fine if we're stretching it through the whole document. Now you may not like the way this looks, and that's fine. I don't care. I'm just doing this just to show you things that you can do. All right, and then we're going to get rid of that information. All right, now one last thing that we have to do. I've got all these counties, typed in all these counties in Utah, every county in Utah. I've got the county name, when it was established, the population, and the area in square miles. And I want all this information to be in its own table. So instead of having to create a table and then go through and then type all this information in, which would be a giant pain, Word lets us do something that's kind of cool. If we highlight all of our text, we can go to Insert, Table, and then down here we have Convert Text to Table. So we can just click that, and it will ask us how many columns do we want, and we want 4 because we want county name, established, population, and area in square miles. So 4, and it automatically determines the number of rows that we're going to have. We want to use this fixed column width auto fit behavior, which is fine for what we need. And then separate text at tabs. When I type this information out, I put a tab in between each piece of information that I wanted to separate. Okay, so separate text at tabs. We're going to click OK. And it automatically creates this nice looking table for us. Okay, now the table itself isn't looking really spectacular, but at least it's formatted properly and we can see all the data very clearly, and we didn't have to type all this stuff again. So I've converted text to table. I've made sure. Now I want to make sure that I want to change the table style to something nice. So when we've got our table selected, we can go to table styles. I'm going to hit the drop down so we can see more of them. There are tons of table styles that we can use. I'm going to pick one that kind of meets the orange theme that we've started with on this document. I'm going to choose that one because that's pretty cool looking. All right. So now we have a nicely formatted table to go along with the nicely formatted data that we have here. Okay. I've made sure the table's on the second page just so it doesn't interfere with this information. All right. Now I'm done. At this point, I am finished. I took all that ugly looking data and I've turned it into something that looks pretty good. Okay. When you're at this point, go ahead and save your document and turn it in on Google Classroom. All right. Thanks for watching.